Good. I'm glad the vibes are good. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Hope our audience is doing well. We never asked how you guys are doing. If you're not doing well, you got problems in your life, I want you to DM Unruly DW, and he's a great therapist.
Yeah, just unload. Just tell him.
He's fucking awesome at listening. Shout out to Tyler.
Tell him all your worries.
I gotta read. Yeah, so, we're going to start a Temptations therapy page. Unruly.
I will tell you like my therapist tells me. If you put self-harm in that email, I will tell. Just so we are clear.
All right, you got really back there. All right, goddamn it.
Just so we are clear.
Hey, look, you want that in your conscience? I don't want that in my conscience. This is what my therapist tells me.
Okay, so I hope our audience are doing well, not thinking of that, and enjoying life, enjoying summer. It's great. It's a fun time, vacations, planning, and got a new episode here for you today. Good topic, and we're gonna get right into these goddamn toasts.
And when it's home,
I'm never gonna call you Monkey again.
first of all, one thing.
Thank you. Pretty smooth. That was a smooth transition.
There you go.
Bounce it, jump right in.
Oh yeah, I knew my place. I'm always ready, bro.
Yeah, man. You didn't play something. You
Bro,
you jam that shit, bro.
What you talking about?
You want to give the goddamn toast first, man?
I can go first. Shout out to one of the most gorgeous, tallest women out there, Liz Cambage. I had to make sure I led off with those two words. I remember I saw it when I was walking down the streets of Old Town Alexandria one day. I was just smitten. I was like, who is this tall woman? Couldn't remember where I've seen her before, but I was like, oh, bro, that was Liz Cambage. Yeah, but I ain't trying to shout her out for that, though. Just make sure I threw that part in there, just in case y'all see it.
You tell people who she is.
Oh, yeah, Liz Cambage, WNBA star for the Las Vegas Aces. So she recently put out a note and kind of explained why she wasn't going to the Olympics this year, which is being held in Tokyo. And she just kind of explained that she's not going back to that whole bubble situation ever again. And it's one of those things where it's like, for those who like sports, for those who don't know as much about sports, last year's NBA, WNBA, I think the was the MLB did one? No, MLB didn't do it.
It was NHL.
And NHL, yeah, they all had bubbles. So there were no fans, no families for most of it, and they were just down there, just straight sports, going back to that room, watching TV and all that. And Liz Cambage, she's somebody who's been outspoken about mental health before in the past as well, and she just kind of explained she doesn't want to put herself through that, and she's like, one of my biggest goals is to win a gold medal for my country, but I can't do that to myself mentally. So I just wanted to shout her out because I feel like a lot of other athletes probably have that same thing, and they're just not talking about it. Yeah, because we talking about these Olympics and it's getting close, and it's like if you watch the news, like the numbers in Tokyo really ain't that great. A lot of them are vaccinated over there,
vaccination rate ain't that good.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of people that are heading over there, and they're gonna have like basically a bubble Olympics. It's gonna be real quiet.
It's a bubble.
Yeah, they'll pipe in some noise and all that, and then you gotta remember you're bringing people together from all over the world. Like it ain't just like we throwing some guys from across the U.S. Guys, nah, it's everybody from across the world.
I don't think it's because in America, American sports, if you're vaccinated to a certain level, you kind of have freedoms. I think over there, because I was reading something like the head of the Olympics, this is the most tight bubble. Even though people are even if you're vaccinated, you don't have freedom. You're literally stuck in with your team. So literally, you just as long as y'all playing and y'all winning, y'all over there, y'all can't do shit.
Yeah.
So if you already went through that last year,
Yeah. I feel like I was saying, I feel like it's a lot of people that may probably feel the same way she does, and they're just not speaking up on it. Or maybe some people are cool with it, but it's one of those things where it's like for people that aren't. I don't know, for some sports it's for gymnastics or stuff like that, this is your high point. This every 4 years is this is your thing. You're going. So it really doesn't matter. But it's for other sports where it's not to take anything away from Olympic gold medal, but it's if you're in the WNBA, you probably won a WNBA championship. NBA, you probably won a Larry O'Brien trophy, bro. For some of those, I just kind of don't. I mean, like I said, I understand the importance of it. I just don't kind of understand sending them over there to a bubble. It's if you're feeling all this danger for them, y'all could just punt on these sports and you can do them again in 4 years. But that's just my. I got you.
One thing I said might have something to do with why the men's team is struggling so much. That might they're over there and geez, look at this bubble, all the freedom that they have.
It's the worst year they had in a long time, huh?
Yeah. Lost those 2 games.
But shout out to Liz Cambage.
Shout out to her.
For her.
And hopefully everybody that goes over there for the Olympics is safe and everything like that, and then it goes off without a hitch.
Listen, they're gonna push through. I just it just works out. Everybody's mental health, physical health is okay. That's all you can do. It's where we live in. Shout out to Liz, Australia. She's Australian, right?
Yeah. It's funny you said that because my toast actually goes with that. I was going to give a shout out to another WNBA player, Candice Parker, for her recent being selected on the cover of the 2K 2022. Sorry, I'm stuttering. But yeah, so shout out to her. She's the first woman to be featured on the cover of NBA 2K22. So really salute to her. That's really huge. I know some people reacted in their own ways, but it's just big. Like when you think about the National Basketball Association, just kind of logically, like it should entail like all like anybody should be able to be on that cover, like women, men, whatever have you. So really salute to her. She's a great player, great leader, great like even when she's it's a show with Shaq and
TNT.
Yeah,
she's a
great
great
analyst.
analyst.
NBA, great analyst,
Really
like
great analyst.
just great all around. So just really salute to her. It's really huge.
And it comes off as like a lifetime achievement award because she had like the tail end of her career at this point. So it is good to see her like getting her flowers and her respect. Not to say she has to retire next year, but she's like mid-30s, I believe.
Yeah. To keep up with the woman's theme.
Oh, okay. And you got a woman.
Actually, mine was basketball related, but it's not a woman. So
You're on sports. What do you have?
Mine is gonna go to MJ Rodriguez. So I don't know if you guys know, but recently, like my girl's been watching Pose.
She's on Pose.
You know, my girls finished season 3, and you know, that's randomly coming into the room, and I'll be watching like what she's watching. I'm like, wow, like this is like it's a whole community. Like it's obviously a scripted series and dramatization, but it just shows like how like tight knit a family, quote unquote, LGBTQ community has to be just against oppression and obviously them being different. But back to MJ, of course, just from the show. She's obviously makes Emmy history as being the first trans woman nominated in a major acting category. I mean, if you would, I would bet millions of dollars 5 years ago that no one would be nominated for an Emmy being trans. So, I mean, just think about the progression that we made.
Right.
As a community, as a culture, just to even acknowledge people's, hard work and, the identity. So, shout out to MJ Rodriguez, man. That's huge.
Yo, shout out to her. I didn't know she was the first though. I thought they nominated Laverne Cox for something like that for Orange is the New Black.
I didn't know she was trans. I've never seen that show before, but I've seen people talk about it.
I've only heard good things about that show.
The show's great. I mean, it's over. I mean, it's done. But it was a great show from the scenes that I've seen, the episodes that I watched with my girl. Like, it was a great show. It's top notch acting in there, man.
Yep. Shout out to that. Yep. Shout out to Pose. Shout out to FX, I believe. Shout out to Pose. All right, I'm gonna finish it off. I'm gonna give my toast to everybody who was associated in the creation of Space Jam 2. Down to LeBron, the producers, directors, all the people, the actors. Actually, I'm gonna get everybody's name. But I watched the cast. Honestly,
Lucky Pig.
so like I mean, if you were if Malcolm D. Lee, the actor, I'm trying to think who played
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle was fine too. He was good. Shout out to Don Cheadle. I'm trying to find the kid who played LeBron's son. He did a really good job actually. Cedric Joe did a good job.
Oh, shout out to him.
But yeah, it was actually a just really good movie. So Space Jam, if you're our age, you know what Space Jam is. Space Jam came out in 1996, Michael Jordan, the Team Squad, and, basketball movie. And so LeBron James, he's been working on it for a while. It's been rumored, I feel like, for decades about it coming out. It finally came out yesterday, and I just really enjoyed the movie. I didn't really have high hopes for Space Jam 2 because, again, it's Space Jam, it's a kid's movie. And, Space Jam 1, me and my brother watched that yesterday, and, it's a nostalgic movie. It's always going to be one of my favorite movies. I can literally say every line in the movie. Like, the entire movie, I know every line to it. So it's a special part for me. So I didn't think Space Jam 2 would be something that I would enjoy, right, to be different. But I really enjoyed Space Jam 2. It was really good. And LeBron did a good job. Cedric Joe, he played his son. He's a young man. He's, I guess he's probably, I don't have his age, but he's like probably 14, 15. He did a really good job. He did a really good job. And he was, him and LeBron, the main character. Don Cheadle was the villain. Don Cheadle did a good job. And it was just really entertaining movie. It was a better movie than Space Jam 1. I don't know if I liked it more than Space Jam 1, but Space Jam 2 was really good. And I just wasn't expecting much from it. And it was fun. I kind of wish I had like a son or a daughter to watch it with, because it would be cool for me to, share what I loved for Space Jam with them. But it was really cool. Shout out to LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron picking up the mantle.
I love the resources that they put behind this thing, because sometimes you see like spin-offs or sequels, especially like 5 to 10 years down the road, it is half-assed. Like they pushed. I mean, I was listening to 95.5, and had a Porky Pig freestyle on that joint. I was like,
well, they had a rap album.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The first one.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, this is dope, man. Like they putting some resources
They
behind
pushed it hard.
Yeah, serious.
So I mean, it's not a perfect movie by any means. There's definitely some, there's parts in it like it's a good schlock. Yeah, I would give it that. Just watch it. It was very entertaining. So
did they find a good way to work in the "We Win" song?
That's an end credits.
That's definitely gotta be end credits.
This has gotta be end credits.
Isn't it? I believe I Can Fly is actually in Space Jam 1, right?
Yeah, but
like in the beginning, right?
That was the beginning and the end.
Yeah, but it's at the end, right? Yeah, when he came back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan.
Oh, can't sing that no more. But
It's your boy.
Damn, that's smooth.